winter. It's well and truly here. It hasn't been too bad, to be fair. The temperatures around the country, pretty moderate. Auckland, 13 degrees. Queenstown, 7. Not good if you're into skiing. But if you get the lurgy, it's hard to get rid of. And Tanya Unkovich is with me now. G'day, Tanya.
Hi there. How you doing?
Look, I know you're not a doctor, but being run down is one of the reasons why we can't shake these things, can we? We keep getting sick.
I know, and that's why self-care is so important. Many people actually don't do that well when they're in the winter seasons, right? They think, oh, summer's the time to get out and get healthy and all that. But I say do it in the winter.
Yeah, well, you're right. And you don't catch a cold from standing in the cold and the rain, but you do, when you run down, you pick up things easier. And we tend to push ourselves and not recognise those signs of, hey, you need to slow down. What's your main advice here around keeping well psychologically and physically, through
During
winter?
the winter? Well, change the way you look at winter. Many people think, oh gosh, winter, ho-hum and all that. Well, I'm just going to say change it, reframe it, make winter your season. And, bodybuilders, they get their summer bodies in the winter, don't they? They train really hard. So do that with your mind and your body. Make winter the time, instead of hibernating and becoming isolated and sluggish, just find it in yourself to get energized, have a goal, mentally, physically, and work towards it. And there's still time to do it.
Yeah, on the whole goal thing, you're such a bright, enthusiastic person, and I'm not a bodybuilder. I wish I was. What do you need to do? What are some of the simple things you can do that just aren't such big mountains to climb? Because often things we put in front of ourselves as challenges are just too challenging.
Absolutely. Well, break it down then. If there is a big goal, then just say, well, what can I do in the next 8 weeks between now and say when spring comes in, all right? 8 weeks is manageable. And even if that feels a little bit too big for you, just go, all right, well, what can I do this week towards my goal? And just break it down. Don't get overwhelmed and keep focusing on the outcome.
So in my experience, when I hear people signing up for great big fads, new diets, new gym regimes, are they setting themselves up to fail because it is too much of a challenge?
Well,
should you start small?
I think so, absolutely. But also make the decision that you want this to be a lifelong thing. It's not going to just be a 5-minute change, all right? Just say, look, this is what I want for the rest of my life. So what can I do today? Often we get into the same cycle, repeating the same pattern of trying a new fad, a new diet and all that. But really, it's just a 5-minute wonder, isn't it? It's a new shiny thing to get you focused on something for 5 minutes.
Yeah. So you work with people all the time in your job because you're all sorts of things. I'm looking at the long list of things that you are: speaker, author, counsellor, personal trainer, all the stuff. What are some of the things that you see with people that are more achievable than others? Do you see people going, I'm going to do, and you're going, oh my goodness, no, you're not?
Well, I straight away say to them, look, how realistic is this? And what do you really want ultimately, instead of having something that's going to last only a half a year or something like that? Ask them, what is it that you want for your life? And then let's just break it down and go, well, what is really achievable? Make it a SMART goal. What is achievable in a realistic time frame?
So I'm looking at my notes here, and you say quite simply in a standalone paragraph, you can do a lot in 8 weeks.
You sure can.
I procrastinate really well in 8 weeks. I could just, I'm going to do that one day. Yep, I'll do that. So how do you actually get in there and just get stuck in?
Focus on the outcome. And also future pace. Future pacing is when you say, all right, let's look at the end of 8 weeks. How great is it going to feel when I've achieved this? How great is it going to feel when I've built a bit of a muscle of discipline? How great is it going to feel when I've lost those few pounds? Start feeling how good it's going to feel today.
All right.
Focus on the outcome.
This is a little bit random, but when you see someone coming to you that doesn't need to lose a lot of weight and their goal is to lose 20 kilos, how do you deal with someone who perhaps has an eating disorder and whose goals aren't quite in line with what they really should be aiming for?
Well, I say what's really going on. And this is an area that I work in a lot. I won't deny that it's something that I've had to deal with myself.
Right.
So I can identify it really quickly. And I'm quite open in saying what's really going on in your life. You and I both see that you don't need to lose weight, but something else is going on. What is really going on? Let's deal with that. Always go there. If you don't go within, then eventually you go without, I say.
Okay. Talk to me about a success story. Someone, just an average person, from start to finish and beyond that. How do they stay motivated without seeing you?
They continue to focus on what it is that they want for their life. And look, I must admit it is really great to have accountability. So some people keep in touch with me even once a month, and that's all. And it might only be 30 minutes. Start to finish, I've had people come to me who have said, I need to lose weight. And you know what? Eventually we don't even talk about food. We talk about what's really going on and all of the other areas of their life where they want change. And you know what? The weight comes off naturally because they've sorted all the other things out. And then once they are maintaining and happy, we'll just check in once a month.
What else can you do to stay well through winter?
Make the decision. Make the decision on how you want to live. Make the decision on how you want to feel in September when all of a sudden spring comes, and often that's the time when we all go, oh man, better get fit and all that. I say, why wait? Get the momentum starting now during this 8 weeks so that when that sun comes out and the heat is here in September, you are feeling great already. Don't wait.
Why do you think it is that in the West, or even more so specifically in New Zealand, where our rates of obesity and diabetes are second only behind the US, why are we so fixated on how we look as opposed to our health?
Oh, look, I could talk forever about this. There's this great need in all of us to be loved and to feel lovable and to feel enough. And instead of going within, we start on the outside. If only I looked perfect, in inverted commas, if only I was X size, Y size, etc., then I will be loved. I will have the perfect relationship. I say go within and start working there, and then your external will happen naturally. You will start feeling beautiful on the inside and your body will follow.
Yeah, and I personally know that certain foods make me feel terrible. Like when I eat 2 litres of ice cream, I feel terrible. But there are certain things you can just avoid and eliminate without signing up to great big expensive diets, can't you?
Oh, absolutely. And just know how you want to feel. Decide you want to feel energized. Okay, how does ice cream make me feel? Actually, not that great.
No.
What makes me feel energized? When you start striving towards feeling well, you will choose differently. But also when you start liking yourself more and feeling okay about who you are, you're going to make a better decision on what you're going to put in your mouth. If you had a flash car, you're not just going to put rubbish in the petrol tank, right?
No, that's right.
You know?
Yeah.
You're a V8 engine. Treat your body the same way, I say.
Yeah, I'm basically a 1.3 litre Japanese import. So sugar is linked to, we haven't got much time, but sugar is a huge link to mood changes and depression, isn't it? And eliminating sugar, it's as addictive as drugs.
It sure is. And that used to be a massive problem for me. And whilst I don't eliminate sugar now, I know that by eating less, I feel so much better. And I want to feel great. I know everyone wants to feel great. Make the decision you want to feel great and choose the fuel that will make you and help you feel great.
Brilliant. Executive Coach Tanya Unkovich, how do people get in touch with you? Because they'll be lining up. You wait.
TanyaUnkovich.com.
Really? That easy?
Yeah, or Google me. You'll find me that way. Or Facebook.
Lovely. And by the way, my mother is thrilled about the book that you sent her. You are very lovely. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
That's
Thanks,
very
Mum.
kind.